Welcome everybody to this month's masterclass. We are here with Christian Studer. He is the founder, I should say, of Onward BTC and a very, very keen crypto trader. So I'm going to now let Christian introduce himself.
Yes, hello. I'm Christian, founder of Onward BTC. We are trading crypto, mostly Bitcoin. And yeah, let's start why crypto, because it is that volatile and we can do a lot of money in it. And I know crypto is very volatile, so you need a good risk and a good management of your portfolio. And what I want to introduce you are the pivot points here, which are really great, really helpful for trading crypto. So let's start directly in the...
Just before you kind of jump in there, Christian, is it only Bitcoin that you trade? I know we like crypto because it's volatile. We obviously, there's a chance for us to bag an awful lot of pips and money. But is it mainly Bitcoin you trade, and why?
No, it's all crypto assets. So it's ETH also, XRP, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, everything that is useful for us. Yes, so for all crypto assets.
Okay, good.
Mainly the top ones, of course.
Yeah, does this pivot point and the EMAs that we're going to cover off, does that apply to all cryptos or is it just Bitcoin in specific?
No, you can use it on any asset, and that's why it's great. But Bitcoin is the main fuel for all coins. So I think it's good when you see it on Bitcoin. It's very accurate, but you can use it on all assets.
Good. Well, let's jump straight into it.
Okay. So yeah, as you can see, I already applied it on the chart here. These are the pivot points. I made the green P here, green. This is the central pivot point. And we are on the daily chart, and maybe let's check here what it says. So the rule is, as long as we stay above the green P, we are bullish. And when we are under the green P, under the central pivot point, we are bearish. So let's check here. This is just before the Corona drop. And as you can see, as soon as price closed above the green P here, we went up. So, and then you see here the other lines. These are R1, R2, R3, or S1. These are support and resistance lines. So R1 is resistance 1, S1 is resistance support 1. So you can trade this now here on the daily, but you can do it on all time frame. I will cover them also, but I think it's a good thing to see on the daily. So let's see here. We closed above the green P. We had a little fake out here on this. This can also happen, of course. And then we closed above the green P. So we are bullish now. And as you can see, we went right up to R2. So here you see how important these lines are. So we went up to R2 and then back down to R1, which is now acting as support. It switched from resistance to support. So classic, you can use it. So yeah. And after it finds support, it went up directly to the R3, as you can see here. And then back again to R2. We had here a little fake out, reclaimed it, and up again. And as you can see, these pivot points on the daily are up for a whole month. So this was now January. And after each month, there will be applied a new set of lines. So here we entered February. And as you can see, we stayed between these two lines. So we are bullish. because we are above the green P, but we started right in the middle. So it was very, very risky to take a position here because it can go down, bounce, or like in this case, up to R2, where we found another resistance. So you see how important this is here. After R2, we went mostly sideways and then down to green P here before March. And after March, we had now a bullish trend here. We can see it here also in the lines. You see here the green P is here and then here. So it's climbing up. So we have a bullish trend. But in March here, we started right in the middle again, and then green P acted as resistance. Again, very accurate. You see one daily here, you know, they're right at the point, wick just above and closed under it. And after that, I think, yeah, this was the Corona drop, right down to all. Of course, with something like this, there is no support here, but we found here support on S4. And after that, we just tried to reclaim it. And you see here, S1 acted as resistance here, broke it, retested it, and then up. So then it was a long bullish trend. It started, and you see here a new month again on the green P up to R1, or the next month again R1 and green P as support. And then you see here a little bit of sideways. So it's coiled up here. It was very risky to take a position here. Nobody knows where in which direction we go. We were bearish here under the green P, but as soon as we closed one candle above the green P, we had an up move. And again to R1. So this is on the daily. But the useful thing here is that we can use it also in intraday. So when we see here on the 1 hour, for example, on the 1 hour, we have here the set for the pivot points for these lines here are set for 1 week. And as you can see, there is always a reaction on these lines. So maybe let's check this drop here. So also here we've bounced off the green P. We are now on the 1 hour up to R1, and then we lost green P here. And as you can see, there was always some sort of reaction on these lines. So these are key levels. So when you are in a short position, like here, you open a short because we lost green P, take some profits on these lines. So it's always useful to have these on the line, because you never know when it's bouncing maybe back up or something. Then you see all these reactions. So it's a good time to take profit. It's always a good time to take profit. And yeah, we went down to S5 here on this week. And then you see here, perfect. Next week starts just wick down to green P. We are bullish. We back tested it with this wick and then up R1, R2, and then we lost it again here. But you see, there is always a reaction on these lines. So these are very important. So these are for the weekly. You can use it for the daily, but you can also use it on the minute chart. And so if you're more in the day trading, so these set of lines will apply every day. So you have every day a new set of green P, S1 and R2. And also here, as you can see, we are now in the 5 minute, or always a reaction to it. Let's check this here. Up to green P, which acted as resistance, but we couldn't break it and close above it. So we lost it and right back down to S1 and S2. So also for day trading, this is very, very useful. And here also down to the green P and right up to R1 and even at the end of the day to R2. So you can use it on the minute, on the hourly, or on the daily. What I do is that we have now some static support and resistance lines here. And what is very, very useful and should be on all charts is the 200 EMA. So the 200 EMA is like a dynamic green P. So as long as we stay above this line, we are bullish. And as soon as we are under the line, we are bearish. So you can, with these two things on the chart, you have a really, really good overview. For example, here, price went down to green P, which is support. And we have an additional support, a dynamic support. This is the 200 EMA. We are now on the daily, which acts also support. So we have a strong support area right here. So maybe it's a good time to take a long position, and it would have played out here. And then you see here, even when you are not sure, like in this case here, if price is really bearish or not, because we are under the green P here in this week, but it's not losing the price, it's just staying up here. And you see here, we are still above the 200 EMA. So we are bullish on this dynamic line here, but we are bearish on this. But as soon as we break this, we have an explosive move up. So, and for these two lines, you can do a lot. So when you see here is also a perfect example. When we are down here, you see we are up of the green P, we broke the 200 EMA, right? At this candle here. So when you take a position here, of course, this was risky because we are all in this resistance, R3, R4, R5, but this is a huge thing when you break this line here and close candle, multiple candles above it. And you see after we stayed for a while, we went up like, what it is, it was like, yeah, 180% in just some days. So yeah, with these two sets, you can do a lot. And also the 200 EMA can be used on the minute chart. So let's check here, maybe on the 15 minutes. You see, for example, today we lost green P, we are under the 200 EMA, and we went right down to S1. So if you're in a day trade on the minute chart, just take some of your contracts, close some, because yeah, take profit here. And also on 5 minutes or 1 hour, these 200 EMA and the pivot points are really key for it. What I do additional, sometimes when I'm in the minute, I sometimes apply the VWAP. So this is the volume weighted average price. And this acts also as support and resistance line. So many traders go short on this line when price goes up here, like basically the same on the 200 EMA. So you have an additional control for your resistance. So as you see, when price goes up here now, we have here resistance on the 200 EMA and resistance on the green P. So maybe it's a good time for a short, like in this case here. Or when we break it, you see, okay, we broke a lot of support here. Just remember, we are only on the 5 minute. So this can go up and down. But when you see this break, you see, okay, we broke that many resistance lines. So maybe it's a good time to go long and up to the R1, yes. So sometimes I will apply the VWAP also. And the VWAP always takes a new position on every day. That's why you have this this drop, for example, here where price was down here from up here. So we start the VWAP on the daily here. But you see, we often go up and down, up and down. So it's hard to take a position right at the VWAP. You have to see it as as a support line. You see here, and don't put your stop loss right at the VWAP, because yeah, it get that many wicks out here. But here you see we have the 200 EMA, which is support here. We lost support, so many went short, but right under it, it was the VWAP. So it's another support line, and that's where we bounced, for example, in this case, or also in this case. So I know it looks a bit messy with all these lines, but when you know it exactly what they are doing, you can do a lot in trading. But the VWAP I only use on the smaller time frames. On the higher time frames, let's see, for example, the 4 hour, you can trade it, yes, but you see here we have that many wicks up and down for, yeah, it's not that accurate. It's maybe a good overview to see, okay, I'm a short position, we are still on the VWAP, on the 200 EMA, on the green P, so I'm bearish, maybe close some contracts, which is always a good idea. And yeah, I think that's basically it from my side. I covered everything about pivots.
Good. And I mean, how long is it that you've been using this this kind of setup for, and have you toyed with any others?
Yes, I have multiple indicators, but I think especially for beginners and also for advanced traders, it is that useful. I used it like, I would say, 1 year or something like this, and I tested all kinds of stuff on the minute chart, on 5 minute, 1 hour, daily, all this stuff, and it's really good. Of course, on the minutes or on the smaller time, you get more fake outs, but it's just that useful, especially when you're in a position and you don't know, okay, maybe take profit or what's going on. That helps you to get an overview on your trend. And always on the daily, you see, okay, we are on the green P, we are maybe bearish here, and all this stuff.
That's really good. They're really, really good. Thank you very much, Christian. And I'll probably be using some of that. And obviously, if people have questions, then I assume they'll be able to contact you either directly through the app, and this
exactly.
Then this will then also form some of the signals that that Christian posts regularly onto the app. Well, am I right in saying that, Christian? You know, you use this as well as a number of other indicators and techniques in order to find the best opportunities and then let everybody else know in the app.
Yes, exactly. I do a lot of indicators. I use sometimes I don't use indicators, just some support and resistance. But with pivot points, it's not that messy, and you have a good overview to what's going on. So I always check it on every day. And when I trade, when I'm in a trade and I want to post a trade, I will always check this for a position.
Good. Well, thank you very much. We look forward to hearing more from you and seeing more signals.
Yeah, sounds good. You're welcome.
Take care. Bye, Christian.
Bye.